Hello, my name's Adrian Paul, and I work for the Customer Experience Group at SAP. I'd like to take a few moments to describe to you some changes to the dataset merge capabilities in SAP Lumira. Let's access some of the sample data that's delivered with Lumira, specifically the Best Run Corp detail dataset, in order to show you these new merge capabilities. So I double-click on that Best Run Corp data, and we see the familiar preview new dataset screen showing you the first few rows of the Best Run Corp data. Everything looks fine, so let's go ahead and create this in Lumira. So let's go into the Prepare room, and we see the raw data that's just been acquired from the Best Run Corp sample dataset. We see straight away that a little over 19,000 rows have been acquired, 19,138 in fact, and a number of columns, including country, and everything looks fine. So let's now add a new dataset, which we will eventually want to merge with this one. So let's select Microsoft Excel, as I've got a previously created Excel file that I want to input, and we have it here called Country Retail Spending. I select that, and again we have the preview new dataset window in Lumira, which shows us the initial rows of that dataset. So I go ahead and create this. And here we see the acquired data from that dataset. We see it's a lot smaller. There are about 15 rows and 4 columns, and each row corresponds to a different country name. So let's go back to our original dataset. And let's say we want to merge this with the other dataset. So we go to the Combine As and press Merge. And when we do that, we see the Merge Data pop-up window. And on the left-hand side, we have information about our current dataset, showing all the different column names. And on the right-hand side, we have the other dataset, the lookup dataset, which we want to merge with this one. So already Lumira has suggested there are 2 common fields, commonly named fields, which we could use to merge the 2 datasets. And that looks fine. So at the bottom, we also see now a new value, which is the merge type. And this is set to left outer join. Now this is in fact the same type of merge that was available, the only type of merge that was available in former releases of Lumira, but it just wasn't shown like this. So what does the left outer join mean? It means that we will, after the merge operation is complete, all of the rows in the left-hand current dataset will be returned. And where each row has a matching country value with one from the lookup dataset, in addition, all of the corresponding values for continent, annual retail expenditure, and percent of GDP will also be returned. Where there is no matching value for country, these 3 columns will be returned as blanks. So let's just see what that means in real life. So we click on Merge. And we come back to our merged dataset in Lumira. We see straight away that we have the country field, country column, and now 3 new columns: the continent, the annual retail expenditure, and the percent of GDP, which have come from our merged dataset, from our lookup dataset. And at the bottom, we see that all 19,138 rows have indeed been returned. So up at the top, we see here countries like USA, which did have a value in the lookup table, have been returned with values in continent, annual retail expenditure, and percent of GDP. The same for countries. If we scroll down further, like France. Conversely, we see other countries like Tunisia and Egypt have blank values for continent, annual retail expenditure, and percent of GDP. That's because Tunisia didn't exist in our lookup table. So this shows how the left outer join merge functionality works. Now let's undo this by using the undo key. So we undo the last merge operation and we go back to our original best run co-op data. Notice we have country as a column, but not continent and the other columns from the merge operation. So we're back to where we started. Now let's try and combine this with the other data set, this time using a new merge operation. We can select this at the bottom, and the new operation or the new merge type is called the inner join. And what does this mean? What the inner join will do is only return those rows in the left-hand current data set where the country matches the value in the lookup data set. Anything which doesn't match will not be returned in the merge data set. And by the way, we don't have to use the suggested values. I could click on continent or even make up a combined key by using Control and click to add different fields here to merge on. But let's just say we want to still stick with country. So we've got our country columns as our merge key, and we're going to stick with the inner join here. So let's go ahead and merge this. And now we see our data set has been returned. Once again, we see USA as a country here, and the new fields are continent, annual, retail expenditure, and percent of GDP from our merged data set. And it looks the same as before, but if we scroll down, we see there are no blanks anywhere. Going all the way to the bottom, we see continent, annual, retail expenditure, and percent of GDP all have values because all of these countries were in the lookup data set. And we see at the bottom, in fact, this is showing that indeed only 11,500 or so rows have been returned because the inner join merge type will return fewer rows since there were only so many countries in the lookup data set. And we can of course then go into the visualize room and then visualize this data of the new combined data. So I can drag sales revenue into here which was in the original table, and country, which was in both, and continent, which is from the merge table, lookup table. You see there as a legend. So with this short demonstration, I hope you've been able to see the differences between the two merge types that are now available in Lumira. Hopefully you'll find this useful and be able to use these new merge types and be productive with the new version of Lumira. Thank you.